Just for me to be able to walk away from my job as a medical doctor meant that I had to make some great financial decisions that would place me in such a position that I'm comfortable enough to walk away from my doctor's salary without being stressed. Now, of course, earning just enough to walk away isn't enough. It wasn't enough for me, and I can imagine it's not enough for you. Every one of us wants to thrive. And over the years, I've learned a few things and made great financial decisions that have certainly placed me on the path to great wealth. And in today's video, I want to share some of these things with you. I trust that they'll be very beneficial. So stick around right through to the very end. First thing, you must have the right mindset and thought pattern towards money. Of course, you're talking about money, we're talking about financial decisions, and everything right here is about money. Now, if you don't have the right thought pattern and thoughts about money, primarily everything else about your decision-making process is going to be very skewed. A lot of people actually view money as an evil thing. Now, I don't blame you, and I don't blame a lot of people for, looking at money as an evil thing, because the world a lot of times has actually placed us in such a position where we look at money as a bad thing. Yeah, you look at politicians, for example, stealing money in government. You look at robbers and murders, killing people, all because of money. And what that does is that subconsciously it places the thoughts in people's mind that over here money is the problem. It's leading to deaths, it's leading to all this corruption, it's leading to mistreatments of the really poor and privileged people, because corrupt people are stealing all the money. But in itself, money is not a problem. Money is simply a tool that can be used for both good and evil. Well, unless you're from a particular religious group or sect that totally believes that money is not something to be desired. I grew up in a community where there were particular religious sects that believed in being as poor as possible. The poorer you are, the more likely it is that you'll get to heaven. So these guys would give away all their stuff. They were supposed to keep their hair short. They were supposed to put on fancy clothes. They're not supposed to have a nice phone and all this kind of stuff. That was their religious belief. But for the biggest part of community, doesn't matter your religious affiliation, it doesn't matter where you're from. Usually, we all do believe that money is a good tool because it gives us the things that help us, but also it enables us to help others. Just like a knife. Imagine a knife, yeah? A knife is a tool. Now, a knife can be used for good things like cutting meat, cutting cake on someone's birthday. We all celebrate birthdays and we usually use a knife to cut the cake. Maybe cutting a rope. If you want to utilize a rope for tying up particular things, you probably use a knife to, cut the rope. Maybe, unwrapping something, maybe a box. You'll use a knife to open it up. So it can be a great tool. But in the wrong hands, a knife is a really terrible thing. In the hands of maybe a murderer, it can be used to kill someone. In the hands of a robber, it can be used to steal. So a knife can also be a bad tool. But a knife is generally just a tool that is said to be utilized. In itself, it's not a bad thing. Same thing when it comes to money. Money is a great tool that can be used for both good and evil. For good in what way? For both personal reasons and, community reasons. Imagine for your own self. You want to be comfortable enough. You don't want to be sick. When you get sick, you need money to go to the hospital to get treated. You want to be healthy and eat good food. You're going to need money to buy the good food. You want to spend time resting, maybe, go out for a day. You're going to need money to put in your car or, whichever means of transport, you're going to need to utilize money for your personal life, but also to help the community. So if you're a religious person, maybe you want to build your church or build a mosque. You're not going to build it out of nothing. You need money to buy the materials. You want to pay tuition for some people that you take care of or people that you love. You're going to need money for them to go to school. So in itself, money is actually a great tool. And like a lot of people say, money is a root of evil. That's actually a very wrong statement. Even the Bible, where it's quoted, says the love for money is the root of all evil. If you have excessive, useless, stupid love for money, then you're going to do really stupid and crazy things, murdering people, stealing, killing, in order to be able to get the money. But if you don't have this stupid, crazy love for money and you only seek money for its purpose, then money can be a great tool. So you need to align your thoughts and thought patterns about money in the correct way. If you still think that money is an evil thing, it's a terrible thing, a disgusting thing, most probably you're not going to carry out the correct things to guide you in the direction of getting generating money. So that's the first thing that you need to think about. The second thing is have goals. It's very important that you have goals. It has been researched and proven that people who do set goals and regularly assess them to see their progress are usually more successful than people who don't set goals at all. So it's not a mystery why this, because having goals usually gives you a sense of purpose, a sense of something to work towards. So if you're going to achieve great financial success, then you need to set financial goals. Of course, a lot of times in the end, it's not about the financial goals, because all the finances that we are working for and looking towards are usually to lead us to a particular goal. Maybe freedom, maybe an ability to tour and move all around the world, maybe an ability to, spend time with family, So your goals might be oriented in that line, but of course, for you to get to that point, you're going to have to drive towards them financially. So you need to make sure that you do set both short-term and long-term goals. These are very important. I'll give you guys an example. Earlier on, I had set myself a long-term goal. And what was my long-term goal? To be able to quit medicine and live life on my own personal terms. Of course, right now it's not a long-term goal, because that was a goal then that was achieved. But I set that goal so many years back. Probably, I think I should have been 22 when I did set that goal. I managed to achieve it at 28. So that was a whole 6-year gap in between. I set it when I was still at the university. So that was a long-term goal. And then I set myself short-term goals to help me achieve the long-term goal. Now, sometimes the short-term goals and the long-term goals don't need to be related at all. They can be completely separated, but sometimes one of them can simply help you do the other. Also, sometimes what appears like short-term goals might simply just be steps along the way for you to attain the long-term goals. For me, it's really important that the short-term goals are also goals, because then if I achieve them slowly by slowly, I'm on my way to achieve my long-term goal. So since my long-term goal was to quit medicine and live life on my own terms, doing the things that I do want, I then set short-term goals to get me there. What were the short-term goals that I set? Number one, I set a goal of being able to get a good job when I do graduate as a doctor, so that then I can start working and have the money that can do the other things that I want. And what are those other things? Those were also other goals. I set myself a goal of starting side hustles, at least a single side hustle that should be able to earn me income that would give me a cushion to quit my job as a doctor without being stressed and without worrying. So that's something that I actively work towards. And of course, when I started working out as a doctor, I had to be very intentional about it. And I came up with business ideas. I decided to start a YouTube channel, number one, but I also decided to start a farm. And this helped me to attain my long-term goal, which was for me to quit as a doctor. So goals give you purpose. Goals give you something to work toward. If you don't have goals, usually you won't be driven. I'll tell you guys. Currently, I personally do have some goals in my mind, both financial goals and goals in terms of achievements, things that I want to attain in life. I do have a goal, and that goal is a big goal. It's probably not worth it sharing it on the channel right here, but I do have a big goal. Maybe when I get there, I'll share it. But I do have a big goal. A lot of times, I'll probably have free time because, like we're going to talk about later on, I do delegate a lot. But what that means is that a lot of times I'll be over there and I don't have like immediate work or things to do immediately in that moment. And if I sit home for an entire day without me doing work, I mean, it wasn't purposeful, like let me stay home and spend it with family, or spend it maybe going to church or resting. If it wasn't purposeful, I mean, a day comes up and I'm doing nothing about it, I will feel like I'm wasting time. I'll feel useless. I literally feel useless because I feel that I'm not working towards my goal. I have a huge goal of this huge sum of money that I do want to make, but here I am chilling at home doing nothing about it. That drives me because it makes me feel like I'm being useless and I'm not doing anything towards my goal. So having goals makes you active. I mean, I'll just get up, pick my bags, go somewhere and start working immediately because I do have a big goal, and every time I'm not working towards it, I'm wasting time. So you need to set huge goals. Number 3, save money. Now, you need to save money when you have a purpose to save, and you must also save money when there is no purpose. Now, of course, you're usually more motivated and usually have a bigger drive to save if there's something you're saving towards. Maybe you're saving towards a car, saving towards a house payment, saving towards a wedding, saving towards something. Usually you're more motivated, but you must develop the discipline and desire to save, whether there's something to save for or nothing to save for. It needs to become part of you. If you're ever going to attain financial freedom, saving must be a part of you. Now, the thing is that in order for you to make money, you do need money. The thing about making money is that it's so difficult for you to make money without money. It is possible, but it's difficult. You either have to be really, really brilliant and creative, and those are really few people, or you have to take a really long time to get there. You don't want to take a really long time, and the highest probability is that you're not among the most brilliant people on earth. It's probably not the best statement to say, but it's the truth. Most of us will fall in the normal distribution curve, that percentile in the middle right there is where most of us are going to fall. So most probably, you're not so brilliant that you're going to come up with an idea that makes you money without money. So what that means is that you need to save. So if you want to do maybe a business, you want to invest, you want to do real estate, all these things require money for you to be able to start. So you need to make sure that you save money. But also, it's important for you to save for purposes of emergencies. You never know when an emergency might come over in your life. Right? Maybe a medical emergency. Maybe, you get incapacitated and you can't work for quite some time. So it's good for you to have money on your accounts for at least 3 to 6 months in terms of saving. I mean, money that you just won't touch for at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses for you to be able to survive on in case something happens. So that's where saving is also important. But also, you need to save for your retirement. Yeah? You need to save for retirement. A time is going to come when you won't be able to work. You're just frail. You do still have the desire to work, but your body won't let you. But you're still alive. I mean, you're still living on earth. So what are you going to do? You're not just going to lay down there and hope that people are going to keep bringing things to you. No, you need to make sure that you work and save enough for your retirement. Now, whichever way you choose to save for your retirement, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that you must have the money for your retirement, and it usually requires some form of saving. Number 4, you need to understand sacrifice. Now, I've made a whole video about sacrifice because it's so important in your life for you to be able to attain financial freedom. So I'll leave a link to that video in the description. But the thing about sacrifice is short-term pain for long-term gain. That is the entire thing, yeah? I don't know any people who have made it rich. I mean, forget about people who have inherited wealth. People who have literally worked their way to the top. I don't know any people who have gotten to the top without any form of sacrifice. You need to be able to sacrifice the celebrations, immediate celebrations, for you to be able to celebrate for a really long time later on. That's just how life works, yeah? When it comes to the religious life, who experience God's blessings and things like that, you're going to have to spend time praying and dedicating yourself and, enjoying the presence of the Lord. It doesn't matter what you're doing, yeah? Maybe if you're part of a cult, you're going to have to spend time understanding the details of the cult for you to get the results of what the cult requires. Same exact thing. When it does come to money, you're going to have to dedicate and sacrifice particular things for you to be able to get other things and bigger things later on. So first of all, you need to make sure that you sacrifice time, yeah? At the beginning, when you're starting out, you're going to have to go fully in. I mean, you're going to work a lot of long hours and you're going to rest for really, really short hours because that's just how things are. You need to get a grasp of things. You need to get committed. For you to inspire the team that you're going to be working with, you need to show them that you understand what you're doing. You need to show them that, you have the dedication to actually get things done. So at the beginning, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of time to get things done. I mean, a lot and a lot of time. Second thing, you're going to have to put in a lot of hard work, yeah? So forget about time, Later on in your life, you're going to have a lot of time because you're going to be delegating, you're going to have a lot of money coming in and you can pay it to a lot of people. But with sacrificing time comes hard work. So you're going to have to do a lot of work. I mean, that means sacrificing your laziness. You're going to have to put in a lot of hard work. I mean, working for really long hours, working in places that are not comfortable, doing the work that ideally you would never have done on a normal day, work that you could never have been applying for, work that the people probably you're hiring at the moment are not interested in doing. A lot of the time, you're going to have to do that work. So you need to put in a lot of hard work. And number 3, you're going to have to deny yourself once. Yeah, you're going to deny yourself once. You're probably working and you get your first, let's say, $10,000. You're like, woo, finally got $10,000. I think I can buy myself a $10,000 car. But in all reality, of course, you do need a car, but you do know that if you can hold on to that 10,000, probably put it back into the business or whatever you're doing, then it can get you more money. You're going to have to do that. Hold it off. I mean, you've been able to get to this point without owning a car. You've probably been walking. You've been, doing all this kind of stuff. You can keep the money. Then you'll probably get to your first $100,000 and you're like, whoa, I've finally made it. I think I really need to buy myself, I don't know, a huge house. No, sometimes you might need to sacrifice. Maybe rent at the beginning without buying that huge house that you're thinking about. So that later on, you can buy $1 million house or, I don't know, $10 million house, even without needing to borrow. So you need to make sure that you prepare yourself to get to this point. Prepare yourself to earn this money, and that's by sacrificing. Number 5, you need to learn to delegate. Now, it's very easy for people who have just started working, because I was just like this. It's easy for you to think that you can do everything. Why? Because you feel like no one else will do it as well as you. It's natural, yeah, because you feel like, number one, you're the one who is most interested in the job, you're the one who is most interested in what you're doing, so no one else is going to do it like you. But you forget that in you doing everything, you end up being inefficient. The most important thing here is efficiency, for you to get the results and the best results in as short a time as possible. What you need to understand, and I'll tell you this plainly, is that you're not the best at everything that you're doing. That's what you need to first understand, yeah? Understand it and let it settle in your heart. Of course, you'll feel like, whoa, I think I can do this really well. I don't think I'll find someone who can do it like me. And then I can also do this well. And then I can also do it. I mean, I was just like that. When I had just started out my businesses, I thought I was the best when it does come to selling. I'm the best in setting up the systems. I'm the best in video editing. I'm the best in shooting. I'm the best in coming up with the ideas. I'm the best at everything. It's easy and it's understandable for you to think that way. But when you do start bringing in other people, and actually when you do think about it critically, there are a lot of better people than you. I mean, a lot of times if you're learning something, probably for me who was, let's say, doing video editing, I'll go on YouTube or I'll watch a movie and I'll see all these guys, or all these movies, all these videos that are edited a million times better than I could ever do it. But for some reason, I still think no one can do it better than me. So you need to understand that first of all, people are better than you. So if you let other people do it, they will most probably do it better than you. So understand that giving it out and letting other people do it for you will usually mean you're going to get better quality. But number two, what that means is that you're going to have more time. Yeah, you're going to have more time. When you give other people to do the work for you, then you create time for yourself to do other things. For me, for example, before I used to edit videos myself, and it was quite hard because sometimes I would get too busy and I have a lot of things to do, and sometimes I don't put the videos out on time. In fact, I did start this channel and for some time it went to sleep. I think for almost an entire year I didn't upload the videos simply because I didn't have time to do that. Yeah, I wanted to shoot the videos but I didn't have time to do that. Now currently I'm able to upload 2 videos a week on this channel and 3 videos a week on the Farm Up channel. Why? Because I've got people who I have hired and they are able to edit the videos while I do other things. It means that I can put out more and then I can earn more because I'm putting out more. But number 3, it just saves you from fatigue and tiredness. You know, you can say that you're working really hard and you're putting in the time, but after some time, if you just keep overworking yourself, you're going to break down, you're going to become inefficient, and you're going to have the best results. So understand that giving other people the work is going to multiply your results because number 1, you're going to have more done. Number 2, it's going to multiply your results because you're going to have better quality work, but also it's going to make you a better person because you're going to become more rested and you can focus on the things that actually earn you more money or the things that you love most. Finally, number 6, never give up. Yeah, I know people say this a lot, but for some reason, a lot of people still just don't understand it. The thing about life and success, especially financial success, is that you don't give up. You never give up. You don't give up. Why? Because success comes from failure. Yeah, you see, the thing about school, for example, school taught us the wrong way. School makes us feel like if you fail, then you're to be punished for failing. In life, you're rewarded for failing because every time you do fail, it simply means that you've discovered another way that doesn't work. Think about Thomas Edison, for example, when he was coming up with the light bulb. He did it so many times, but what he kept saying is that every time I tried a method and it didn't work, I knew another way that doesn't work. So if there is probably a billion possible ways that the electric bulb could be connected for it to work, with every failure, it means there is less possible ways, and at some point it's going to figure it out. Same exact thing, yeah? So understand that you have to put in the effort, you have to put in the hard work, but also that's just how life is. I mean, it will always present you with hard times and you've got to endure to get through. So the more times you fail, the higher the likelihood that you're going to meet your success, the higher the likelihood that you're going to meet really good things. So you need to understand that you can't give up, you need to keep working, work focused, work with the right ethic, be as brilliant as possible, and you're going to meet that financial success that you've always desired. Now, I earlier hinted on sacrifice. I mean, sacrifice in your life for you to be able to ascertain and get the things that you desire and require in your life. I've made a video about 1 year of financial sacrifice. I'll leave a link to that video right here. Check it out. 1 year of financial sacrifice can change your life forever. I trust that you'll enjoy it and it will greatly impact your life. Lots of love. Bye-bye.